I'm going to download the new app, and we'll get you started in the meantime.
All right. If anyone could have told me how hard it would be to get to this point, I don't know that I would have done it.
We both were working so many hours, knowing that you don't have any more to give, but you want to step up.
매일매일 실패합니다. 스타트업의 생명인 것 같아요.
I'm just not feeling it.
Is it because we're Black female founders with no tech background that we can't launch a business?
I wish this innovation was everywhere.
This is 100% what I believe I should be doing, but how do we actually make it happen?
That cost of failure is so high. It's a lot of responsibility to have.
Ashley Ammons and her mother, Carrie Schrader, mother-daughter team who founded this.
As an entrepreneur, your first job is to find the place and the people that get you, feel you, support you, champion you, and go there and conquer.
It's good to have a community, not just of people that believe in you, but people who are facing the same challenges.
I don't think that I would have made it this far without the feeling of community that I found here.
Women in my age group come up to me and say, you have inspired me to do what I've always wanted to do.
You put another brick in the wall today, and that's what we're doing.
It has pushed me to be not just a tech innovator, but a guiding light to other people.
I had permission to dream. I don't think I had that.
If I can help just one person, it was going to be worth it. But now at the prospect of doing this for hundreds, thousands, millions of people, there is nothing that can stop us.
Hi, and welcome everyone. My name is Marta Krupinska, and I head up Google for Startups in the UK. Before we kick off this official showcase for our Immersion for Women Founders, I want to take a minute to ask you all to take a quick but impactful action. Having gone through the ups and downs of being a founder myself, I know one thing for sure. Women often don't get half the recognition they deserve, especially compared to many of their male counterparts. So today, on the Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day, we want to change that by shining a light on all women founders out there. We want to create the biggest virtual Women Founders Showcase by asking you all to highlight one other woman founder that you know deserves that recognition. So simply share your shout out via a post or link on LinkedIn or Twitter and ask the person you recognize to pass on that recognition to another woman in their network, and so on in order to get that giant snowball of online love for women founders. I've already shared my post this morning, both on LinkedIn and Twitter, and given a special shout out to one of my favorite founders out there, Shardi Nahavandi, CEO and co-founder of Pexi, for relentlessly working towards bringing better healthcare to women around the world and being an absolute inspiration for us all and for me. So please take a minute to share your shout out to another woman founder before this showcase ends. It's only going to take a minute, but it can really mean a lot. So thanks so much and enjoy the showcase.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this Immersion Women Founders Program Showcase. I'm Agnieszka Hryniewicz-Bienik, Global Director of Google for Startups. Everything we do here at Google for Startups is connected to our core mission to level the playing field so that startups and communities can succeed. Startups are solving some of the world's most important challenges with agility, innovative technology, and determination. But sometimes a little help is needed, especially during times like these. Whether founders are just beginning to build their businesses or scaling up to meet the needs of their consumers and society, we connect them with the right people, products, and best practices to help them thrive. Because if startups grow, our communities and economies also grow. As a women leader, I decided early in my career to be myself and to surround myself with people who bring out the best in me, challenge me, and inspire me. It was so important also to have a trusted network of other women leaders that believed in me, supported me in difficult times. I can't imagine I would be a successful woman today without this trusted network. When we look at the startup ecosystem, unfortunately, we see that gender equality and equal representation of diverse founders is still a challenge in almost every startup ecosystem across the globe. We want to help change that. At Google for Startups, we see it as core to our mission to ensure that especially women get the support, connections, and the visibility they deserve. And this is the reason we are here today at Global Women's Entrepreneurship Day to shine a light on the 11 exceptional women founders who have been part of our latest cohort of Women Founders program. Congratulations to all of you for making it so far and for leading the way for other women who might follow your footsteps. The International Women's Entrepreneurship Day, we not only want to celebrate founders we work with, but also shine a light on all women founders to ensure they get the visibility they deserve. Choosing just one is tough, as I am meeting so many amazing women through our programs every day. However, to get the ball rolling, I have already shared my post on LinkedIn earlier this morning, where I'm giving a special shout out to Seo Young Chang, the founder of Jaranda. Seo Young deserves more visibility because she never stops to follow her passion to tackle the challenges for working parents in Korea. Before we get to hear from the founders themselves, I'm excited to introduce you to the next speaker of today's event. We all know that the success of women is also dependent on policies and legislation that ensure more women can have a seat at the table and also support equal rights in every aspect of society and economy. This is with great pleasure to have Eva Meidel here with us today. Eva Meidel is a member of the European Parliament and the president of the European Movement International. She's an advocate for supporting digital entrepreneurship and a tech-savvy and innovative society. Please give a warm welcome to our special guest, Eva Meidel.
Hi everyone, I'm Eva Meidel, member of the European Parliament and the first female president in the 70-year history of the European Movement International. I'm very much thrilled to take part in this inspiring event, highlighting women founders across Europe. While I myself might not be a founder of a startup, even though I think I run my team pretty much as a startup, I have also threaded the path in a male-dominant environment, I have to say. Some 6 years ago, I was elected as the youngest member of the European Parliament at that time. One milestone was achieved in a way, perhaps a dream that became reality, as I've managed to climb that ladder up to the European Parliament in Europe. It is, in a way, a very big opportunity as well as a responsibility, and I was excited and at the same time full of question marks about what the future will hold. I remember that so many thoughts ran around my head. I was thinking how to make my mandate meaningful, how could I make an impact on EU policies the way I always dreamt I would, and will this be for the better? And I think very often we ladies can relate to this sort of internal monologue. Perhaps some of your experience shows similar thoughts when you receive support or funding to achieve your big project or dream at the time. I think what's really important is to keep on going forward and not to miss what the big picture is and the big aim and what you want to achieve, regardless of the doubts and sometimes even fears that we face. I can say that being the youngest female MEP made me perhaps work much harder to prove that vision, determination in achieving the goals. And I think this is also what was quite important into my development over the past couple of years and building on that experience. Now, 6 years later, and another mandate in, not only the European Parliament has way more young parliamentarians, but we have also a higher number of female representation. And I trust that this mandate would do even better, because it would see a different perspective than previous parliaments. I also think that women get into jobs because they want to make a difference to a certain area, to the society or to the economy. The first drive is not the financial one, but it's more about their passion and where they see and think they're valuable. So, ladies, I think you're the very example of that particular power of female determination. And what this determination can do. Your companies, your businesses are leveraging AI and machine learning and other advanced technologies to solve some of today's bigger challenges. Whether that is making parenting an easier task while improving baby sleep, which I can fully subscribe and understand, or simplifying consent management across platforms, or reinventing philanthropy via matching the donors with the cause they care about. I think that all of the 11 startups are truly inspirational. And I cannot wait for the moment when some of those ideas will grow and we would be manifesting them as global success stories. And so what I would like to share with you is just keep on doing the amazing work you currently are doing and do not give up. I think we need you, your ideas, your successes, because you would be paving the way for much more opportunities into the next female founders and entrepreneurs. Just like you're receiving mentorship today, tomorrow you will be the ones paying forward to younger girls with impressive ideas and projects and help their dreams be even more braver and perhaps even bigger. So I thank you very much for listening to that message of mine. And I wish that next year we could perhaps meet in person. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Eva Meidel and Agni, for opening the showcase today. This whole event is filled from start to finish with inspiring women, and you both got the show off to an amazing start. So thank you for being with us. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Google for Startups Immersion Women Founders Showcase. My name is Erin Gruber, Startup Partner Manager at Google for Startups here in Berlin, and I lead our Women Founders program across Europe. As with all good things, there's an incredible team of people behind everything you'll see today. So coming up in just a minute, you'll see the whole Google for Startups team that makes this program and the event today what it is. There they are. How great are they? So this was just the start. I'm really excited for you all to meet the true stars of today's event, the cohort of founders we've been working with. The past 11 weeks, my team and I, and an incredible host of Googlers from across the globe, have shared their expertise and knowledge in weekly one-to-one mentorship sessions. They've hosted workshops and product deep dives and helped these founders dig into the very best of their leadership abilities to drive their business forward. It's hard to explain everything that happens in a program like this and how much the founders and the Googlers get out of it. So we thought we'd let the founders tell you what it was like in their own words. Here's a short video to give you a sneak peek of what went on and what the founders are taking away with them from the experience.
You covered so many topics, literally like from, I don't know, keeping your team away from distractions, to personal leadership coaching, to, in my case, branding. So, you know, just a wide area of different topics. where I always felt super inspired and actually took away a lot.
It's been a wonderful series of group meetings with the other women founders where we've shared learnings and moaned about our companies and problems we've had and tried to collaborate and find solutions, as well as incredible seminars, brilliant talks, and wonderful meetups with advisors.
The opportunity to meet with other female founders. I haven't had that opportunity before. I worked in an area which is very male dominated. So it has been really exciting to hear the experiences of other female founders, because there's so much that I can relate to.
That I could actually learn more about how to become a more effective leader through mentorships, but also through the amazing other female founders that I got to know.
My number one highlight of the Google program has absolutely been OKRs. I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to get my head around them, but now I have. I've absolutely implemented them throughout my entire life, even my personal life, which sounds really geeky, but they are so effective.
Now, working with my 3 mentors was really refreshing, because each time I brought a problem to the table, they had their whole skill set aimed towards helping me achieve my goal, but in their own way. And every time I finished those meetings, I could really bring a different color and a different layer to what I was trying to do.
The first thing they told me is, Maria, there's so much to do for you. And that was the point where the first time somebody from outside kept reality and didn't just say, oh, you're doing so well. So this face-to-face, to being honest with each other, was definitely my highlight.
Don't ever be afraid of taking a risk. I think that you should ask yourself a question, and what's the worst thing that could happen to you when you're going to start something? Or
surround yourself with people that can help you get the right investors on board and build a really powerful network of mentors and other founders who can help you along the way.
Don't be scared of challenges that you meet on your way. And they're just to build you more and not to scare you. So don't lose belief in yourself and in your superpowers.
I honestly love this video so much. Thank you, ladies. This is our 4th cohort of women founders, but our very first pan-European cohort. And I can tell you, this group has inspired all of us every single day here at Google for Startups. We all know 2020 has been a tough one for everyone, but watching these founders show up every week with so much passion and commitment and drive should remind all of us why startups are so important and why these brave founders are truly changing the world. For any of you watching who want to learn more about our work at Google for Startups and all the programs that we run for founders around the globe, check out our website at startup.google.com. So we have a pretty packed agenda this afternoon, and I promise that time will fly by, so stick with us. Coming right up are the first 6 founders who will speed pitch their businesses one by one, and each of them has an ask for you, so pay good attention. We would have so loved to have all been in a room together for this event. So despite being online and me sitting here by myself, I want to hear from as many of you as possible. There'll be time after each pitch for audience questions. So make sure you get those in the chat feature somewhere there so I can read them out. So without further ado, let's get started. Startup number 1, joining us today from Poland, our powerhouse team creating products and software to help your babies and you get a better night's rest. Please welcome Whisper.
Hello, everyone. When you are a parent for the first time, you prepare yourself and you think you are ready. Then the baby is born and suddenly you feel alone, desperate, and tired. You're exhausted. You don't sleep, you don't have time to eat, and you are 24/7 on Earth. And there are 5 million parents in Europe each year. My name is Zuzanna, and I'm a happy mom of 4. But I wasn't always so happy. 10 years ago, in the middle of the night, you could meet me swinging my baby with a hairdryer sound on, because it was the only way to put him to sleep. Hairdryer sound. I felt desperate. And it was later when I realized that the sleep is the fundament of all well-being. So together with my sister Julia, who is also here with me today, also mom, at the end of 2014, we co-founded a company called Whisper. We have created Whisper to support parents and babies, and we make plush toys with pink noise solution. Pink noise as a hairdryer sound reminds babies the sound from the womb and calms them quickly. Whisper also listens to the baby thanks to the cry sensor solution. The advanced algorithm applied in Whisper recognizes baby's voice and activates shushing when it's needed. We also made Easy the Slop, the first baby monitor that you can hug. It also has a parent assistant in an app prepared with pediatricians and specialists that gives you all day by day small tips regarding baby development and parental problems. We have helped over 500,000 babies and parents in over 20 countries so far. We really saved their lives. We have received multiple awards, included amazing award given by Duchess Kate and Prince William. We had our contribution to the Royal Baby number 3, about what I can tell you a little bit later. And we support charities, hospitals and hospices in Poland, Germany, Great Britain, and even in Africa. We sell from the day number 1. We work with trusted parents in Europe and Asia. Baby industry is still growing, and thankfully, COVID pandemic helped us too. We quickly adapted our business to e-commerce and plan to grow this channel internationally next year. We are planning 20% business growth next year behind that. We have created a company with other working moms. Yes, almost all our employees are moms who are specialists and in their field: e-commerce, marketing, and purchasing. Whisper will never replace parents, but we believe that there is always a space for support. We aim to help parents all over the world, and we are looking to speak with the international distribution partners. And if you are interested in our future launches, we are ready to speak with you in early 2021, ahead of race for international expansion too. In Women Entrepreneurship Day, I would like to mention Marta and Eva from Glove, who bring real innovative products into the beauty industry. Their brand is present in over 50 countries in the world. Polish moms are really innovative, and I would like to mention also 2 more startups. I Love Grain, company of Justyna and Kasia, which is a brand of pillow and relax accessories filled in grains, and thanks to which sleep can be healthier. Cool Mama, made by Kasia, helps us, working moms, to stay active during the breastfeeding time thanks to innovative clothing solutions. Kasia is looking for an investor right now. Thank you all for your support and for being here with me, and I'm ready for questions, Erin.
Amazing. Thank you, Susanna. Good job. It's hard being first, I know that. So it sounds like you've already got a pretty great range of products. What can you tell us about new things coming up, or are they still top secret?
Erin, sorry, I had a problem with my network. Sorry, could you please repeat, because I have problems with network, I guess. Sorry.
No. Okay, no problem. I'll ask again. What can you tell us about upcoming product launches?
Yeah, so we for the next year, we actually I don't want to say too much, but what we want to focus on is to bring more and more technology into our products. So we Easy the Slop, which was like an amazing app for parents, and for sure we want to work on it more next years. And also we are really observing what's going on in the world, and we are trying to adapt also our products to current, also pandemic world, working from home situation, and all challenges that parents are facing right now.
I can imagine there's lots to do there. Which countries are growing the fastest for you? So where do parents need you the most?
Well, of course, Europe is our main area of selling, but we were surprised that small countries, for example, like Finland, that we didn't expect to grow. It's one of our main markets right now. So we want to also focus on Scandinavia next year, but also France, UK, and Poland, of course.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Susanna. I can almost hear people's virtual shopping baskets filling up over on your site as we speak. Yeah, tired parents
Thank you so
tonight. So thank you. Next up, we have Blanca, co-founder and CMO at The Place, based in Madrid. Blanca is changing the way people buy and sell their homes and is on the verge of expanding internationally. This is one to watch, folks. Blanca, over to you.
Thank you, Erin. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Blanca Vidal, and I am co-founder and CMO of The Place. I've got a question for all of you. What's the most important sale of your life? It is proven that when it comes the moment to sell your house, it becomes one of the most stressful things in life. At The Place, we focus on solving the most important challenges around selling or purchasing anything. Well, your house. In The Place, we've created a platform with AI connected to WhatsApp that helps you to sell your house for less than a third of the normal industry going rates in an easier and in a more transparent way. The problem about selling a house is that it's super expensive, tedious, and not transparent. In The Place, we take care of all the process. At the beginning, from creating the professional ad, we manage all the negotiation, and we do all the legal documents, everything until the house is sold. So usually traditional agencies charge a commission between 3 to 6% of the final price of the house. In The Place, we only charge a fixed fee of 2,990 euros to the seller, only if we sell the house. This is possible because we are digitalizing our operations. The real estate market is huge. In the Spanish market, more than 500,000 houses are sold every year. The total addressable market is of 1.5 billion, and we expect to reach between 5 to 10 market share. So, we are exactly in the correct place at the correct time. Real estate market is going to a real transformation. No one until now has ever made it scalable, and we are on our way. We are using AI and data, which are already to disrupt in our market. In addition, we've got traction to prove. From 2019 to 2020, we've grown 10% despite COVID-19. And every month, we get more than 200 new houses in our platform. We have sold houses over all Spain, and we've reached more than 40 cities. Until now, we've raised over 700,000 euros. In 2018, Cavides and Partners, our lead investor, joined us to accelerate our growth. By now, we've partnered with Blackstone, and we are break-even after COVID-19 with no layoffs. So who we are? We are a passionate team of entrepreneurs. Valentin is the CEO and Enrique is the CTO. Both of them are engineers with great experience in technological projects and business intelligence. My experience is in digital marketing and sales. So there's still an awful lot more space for us to grow by next year. And we will be raising capital to support our expansion. We would like to conquer South and East Europe. So please contact me if you would like to join our next financial round that will be between 1.5 and 3 million euros. So my Women Entrepreneurship Day shout out goes to the amazing Fabiana Clemente. She is co-founder and chief data officer at White Data. They are helping companies who struggle with data. To Alma Moya, CEO and co-founder at Equalan. They are disrupting the education industry. And for Marta Frena, co-founder and CEO at Grey Glasses. They are changing the optical sector thanks to new technologies. That's all for me. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, please ask me.
Thanks, Blanca. Really, really great job. I loved hearing about your internationalization plans for next year. Super exciting. You said Southern and Eastern Europe. Do you have specific countries in mind that you'll go to first? And what made you choose them?
Well, first of all, we would like to reach Portugal and Italy. Those countries are more similar to our country, Spain. So once we've reached these countries, we will like to go to East Europe because there is a high internet penetration in the society and they are used to digital companies. Moreover, there is not yet a strong competitor. So I think it will be a good opportunity for us to go. And some of the countries, for example, Poland.
Amazing. We're super excited to see how you grow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Blanca. So, shifting over to London now, but sticking with prop tech, Lee Butz is the founder of District Technologies, a SaaS platform supporting landlords and the new future of work. Go for it, Lee.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lee. I'm the CEO and co-founder of District. We started the company 3 years ago with the vision of bringing the benefits of co-working to traditional assets, to landlords, and to any type of office space, really. We have a fantastic team with a very relevant background. I personally started some large co-working campuses in Berlin and then London, and so was on the operating side of our product before realizing the need for this very heavily. My CTO was a founder of a smart city sensor company before selling that, and then managing more than 100 engineers for a larger company called Methods, from which I stole him together with Justin, who was his lead developer before they both came over to join us as the founding team. And we're now raising as well a £2 to £3 million late seed funding round to grow the business further. As you all know, with COVID, office space has changed. Everyone's been forced to work at home as hybrid working is becoming the new normal. It's nothing new. You know, agile spaces have been around for a long time. Companies have allowed people to work at home or in their office. However, now everyone has been forced to do the same. And with this, the office is not dead. It's just becoming fully agile, which means agile spaces need a type of technology to book and to manage them. And this is where District comes in. So these are our clients that we're working with today. Over the last 3 years, we've signed up some of the biggest landlords, but we also now work with companies like WPP or Investec for their internal employees. And if we look at some case studies, so WPP, we're rolling out to 170,000 employees globally. For our landlord clients like Merlin Hub in Spain, we just launched 32 buildings for them over the summer. So even though people are at home, our product really engages and helps landlords connect with their tenants in order to get them back to the office safely in a COVID-safe manner, but also to be a really great tool for reconnecting when you're at home and not in the office. What does our product look like in more detail? Let's look at our product quickly. Sorry, these are the buildings that we're live in all around the world. And now let's look at our product quickly. On a high level, we have 3 core pillars. What does that mean? Our clients can allow their employees or tenants to book anything that's available, whether that's booking yourself back into the office to be safe, monetizing, booking any type of events, activities, services, or anything that's available in your company day to day. Those things can then be monetized if they want to. And of course, everything has been built with community at its forefront. So really being able to communicate and collaborate with other people, whether you're working at home or in the office. And then our clients can fully self-manage, analyze, and then iterate these services across their office space. So we've also built some COVID-specific features, of course, because it's so relevant. Really quickly, on a high level, you can book yourself into the office with occupancy. You can track and trace through our health survey and making sure you know who's in when. You can manage more social distanced working. And of course, you can have support, whether you're at home or in the office. So really, what's next for the company? Like I said, we're raising 2 to 3 million rounds for our growth to expand. We're already live in the UK, Canada, across Europe and the US, and we want to double down on our growth. And we're also launching the industry's first design hub, which is really exciting. It allows our clients to configure the app and the platform without even speaking to us in a way like WordPress allows you to configure your website. District's design hub will allow you to configure your very own community and office app. So if you have any questions or you're interested in speaking to me about the fundraise, please contact me, lee@district-tech.com. And thank you very much for your time. Sorry, of course, I have the most important bit of this quick pitch, our women shout outs, my very good friends. Firstly,
Alexa, who's the CEO and founder of Entry Level Boss, especially now in COVID times. If you're a graduate and you're looking for a new job, you have to read her book and check out her courses online. Claire Cockerton is doing some amazing stuff with innovation campuses, and Pinnaman founded like the Farfetch of Africa sustainable fashion, and is really great. And I'm mentoring her a bit on the side. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Lee. Great to hear that you're already paying it forward to the next round of founders. You mentioned you've made tons of updates to your product already to reflect the new COVID world. How has that been for you and your team, making product updates remotely?
Yeah, fantastic. We've been remote since March. I mean, we're lucky because we've been agile before even. We just have one office in London. And our updates have been really relevant. Our clients have been using it from the summer, really. And we're just continuously updating it to make it even better and to help this transition to a new way of working.
Amazing. Really excited to see the company keep building.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee. On to Germany now, and a business focused on pleasure. Julie Lepic, founder of Femtasy, made the Forbes 30 Under 30 list announced just last week. Congratulations. And is changing the world of adult entertainment. Julie, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Erin. Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm the co-founder of Femtasy, which is the world's first streaming platform for sensual audio stories for women. Our vision is to inspire women to explore pleasure on their own terms, however, wherever, and whenever they want to. For the beginning, I want to introduce you to Louis. Louis is one of our users' favorite voices and very excited to meet you.
Hey, you, beautiful stranger. I'm excited to finally meet you. I am Louis, and I'll bring you to the wildest places. Experience dates with me, which I promise you'll never forget. Welcome to Femtasy.
So some of you might ask yourself now, why audio erotica? So let me explain. As you know, 50% of the world population is female, and 9 out of 10 women, and this might actually be a new information to you, actually enjoy solo pleasure. But 70% of those women are not happy or satisfied with the current adult content offerings. And this is why. Sex researchers found out that women prefer to use their imagination as opposed to men who react much stronger to visual stimuli. For men, therefore, the world of visual video platforms is great. For women, it is not. Imagination is at the very heart of female sexuality, and this is where audio and Femtasy come in. With Femtasy, we follow the mind-first approach to female pleasure. We produce audio content exclusively made for women. We are half audio production house and half tech startup with a deep user understanding and an extremely data-driven approach to content production. With a focus on authenticity and stimulation in our content, we spark female imagination over and over again. We put our content under a modern, clean, and feminine lifestyle brand women can actually identify with, in contrast to the existing adult content brands you know. Since our launch 2 years ago, we have produced more than 1,500 audios in-house, in German and in English, and people interact heavily with our content. We generate more than 1 million plays per month on average. Basically, users just love Femtasy. We have an excellent NPS of above 40, and users spend more than 23 minutes on average on our site. Looking at 3 financial highlights now very quick. In the market, which we estimate 90 billion euros in size in our tier 1 countries. 1, we reached a revenue growth rate of 285% year over year in our second full financial year. 2, 95% of our revenues are recurring. And 3, our lifetime to CPO ratio is 4.0 on average. I'd like to stress that with Femtasy, we empower women to explore a new form of sexual self-determination, and we totally believe in female empowerment. So do you too? To close my time on this amazing virtual stage right here, I'd like to introduce you to Anna. Anna is the founder of Leadership Sprout, the one-stop solution for sustainable digital leadership. They empower businesses and individuals to create long-term success by providing them with a network, relevant content, and coachings, which is essential for competitive corporations. Please find her social handles below. I'm Julie from Femtasy. Thanks so much for your time.
Amazing, Julie. Well done. Thank you. Now, I know you did a lot of market research before you launched the product. Tell us a little bit about why this was so important.
Oh, I love the question, first of all. Yeah, why is it so important? To be honest, because there is just a huge data gap, especially when it comes to female sexual health, female sexual pleasure. It's just, there's just not much data, not relevant data and data to be trusted on. So we decided, okay, if it's not there, that's what startups are for, I guess. So we do it ourselves. And we did a huge study serving more than 1,500 women in all different kinds of, formats, I would say, and by now we are actually working together with one of the biggest researchers across Europe on female sexual health, on also giving the data we gathered, obviously anonymously, over to real scientists, so to say, because I'm not one, to work with the data and create even more valuable stuff.
This is so exciting. Really, congratulations to all the women watching. Get over to Femtasy and check it out. Your evening will brighten right up. So back to the UK now. We're moving right along. You're about to meet Francesca Hodgson, founder and managing director of Goodbox, the digital future of philanthropy. There she is. Welcome to the stage, Francesca.
Hi, everybody. I'm Francesca and I'm co-founder of Goodbox. Goodbox is a fintech, tech for good company serving the nonprofit sector. We leverage the latest in technology and data-driven AI to provide a digital ecosystem for giving that effortlessly connects donors with the causes that they care about. The point of entry for Goodbox was to replace and offer an alternative to traditional cash giving. And yes, I mean those slightly grubby, slightly sorry-looking collection pots that are often found on our retail counters. Yet what they represent is so important. As founders, it was notable how our ever-increasing cashless society was having a detrimental effect to the value of donations received from nonprofit fundraising efforts. Our primary solution is both hardware and software based, and we are proud to have designed and developed award-winning hardware for the acceptance of digital donations via contactless Apple and Android Pay. We have incredible world-renowned clients in our portfolio, including many UK museums and galleries, and our first client was actually the Natural History Museum in London. All data from donations can be accessed via our Goodbox portal. The portal provides our customers with settlement details, live transactional reports, and data-driven AI insights into their fundraising. It's also the entry point to other digital fundraising solutions powered by Goodbox. Some stats and testimonials here for you then on our customer base. Over 5 million raised in donations through Goodbox technology, and we've had currently over 1,600 clients on our platform, with 1,160 being the peak average donation made via card. So we like to say we're not just about small change, we are about real change. And with that, we've processed over 800,000 donations. And that's all with Goodbox as the payment facilitator and merchant of record, some technical jargon for those of you in payments. Here is Goodbox as a consolidated platform for giving, where physical donation terminals and online fundraising channels can be accessed and managed centrally through Goodbox as a single service provider. We are heavy on the payment architecture to deliver our services, but we're firmly focused on delivering easy to access solutions that help drive donations. Our hybrid approach to product and service allows the organizations we support to have access to the tools designed and developed with all the needs of fundraising in mind. A quick snapshot here of the SMT teams and their credential. I'm also super proud that the wider team is 50-50 when it comes to male-female split. We're a mission-driven company and we're striving for a better world. That's our North Star. Nonprofits are at the heart of our communities, and it's our ambition to ensure that all organisations have access to effective and affordable fundraising tools, and our team are truly passionate and united by what we do. We've concluded and raised circa 8 million in investment to date over Angel to Series A, and we're currently planning global expansion strategies that include the US and Europe. So please feel free to get in touch. My details are there on the screen if you want to be kept informed about our future rounds. And of course, finally, the most important part of the show, huge support to these three female founders who I'm fortunate to call all great friends of mine. Karen Mannion, who is the founder of The Health Creator, who's had amazing results, particularly in female health through her combination of nutrition and NLP programming. Lizzie Chancellor, who's a super talented artist. Do check out her personal cards and prints on her website. And Raquel Gracie, who's a phenomenal, talented singer and songwriter. For those of you looking for unique musical content or work on their brands, please do reach out to Raquel and give her a shout. Thank you, and I'll welcome any questions.
Well done, Francesca. Great pitch, and I love those shout outs. So we all know that many people around the world have been hit really hard financially this year due to the pandemic. Have you got any insights, or can you tell us a bit about how this has impacted philanthropy?
Yeah, there was a really interesting study that was done at the start of the lockdown in the UK. It was estimated that the first 3 months of lockdown cost the non-profit sector 4.3 billion in income from lost fundraising activity. And yet, whilst there were supports and grants to the tune of 750 million, which were well received, you can just goes to show how much all of our small donations go to making a huge impact to those organizations that really do support us most.
Absolutely. Wow. Every penny really does count. Thank you so much, Francesca. So coming up next, startup number 6 today is MyStay, based in the Czech Republic. Founder Pavlina developed a software solution to provide a seamless, contactless guest experience for hotels. There she is. Hi. A solution that has never been more relevant than right now. Take it away, Pavlina.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Pavlina. Well, let me share with you some insights from the hospitality. So 900 plus billions of dollars of economic loss, 20 plus millions of fired people, and hotel occupancy close to zero. Well, these are one of the most challenging times for hospitality industry ever. In less than 5 years, there will be completely different concept of receptions. Currently, hotels have to build the guest trust, keep the cleaning policy, and keep the social distancing. And that is why this is the best time for MyStay, the global guest experience tool that is connecting hotels and guests after the reservation and makes some processes at the reception contactless. MyStay is a cloud-based web application that makes communication, check-in, check-out, and upsell contactless using the guest devices. In the post-COVID times, the usage from the side of the guest got higher by 800%. To small properties, we save money. And to big properties, we save money and make money. We are a top upselling and checking software at the famous Hotel Tech Report, used by more than 1 million guests so far. This year, MyStay was voted by the World Tourism and Health Organization as the most complete solution to mitigate COVID-19 impact on tourism. Currently, we are integrated to 40 plus well-established hotel systems and growing. There are more than 10 million travel accommodations worldwide, but only 1.5% of them have a contactless reception access. With our complex system, we can approach any type, any size, or at any location worldwide. As we are a SaaS platform, the onboarding is very fast and efficient in compared to other hospitality software. We're charging per month per room, with extra possible charges for payments, SMSs, and possible development. During COVID, we made the smart move and started to charge per reservation, which is friendly. As we are a complex solution with a smart collection of the data and usage the data, we are very different than our competitors. Believe or not, I am a previous lawyer, but I am involved in hospitality business for already 8+ years. Our core team has in total 40 years of experiences in travel, telco, and IT development. Our offices are in Prague, Amsterdam, and Maryland, United States. The biggest highlight from our history was when Booking.com asked us to be their partners, and when we have got recently offered to do an exit with a valuation 5.5 million euro. Hotels got desperate to get their guests back, and we have a tool to help them. Now, we need to be as fast as possible. For this reason, we are raising 450,000 euro, from which we have already soft committed nearly half of it from our hotel partners. We have already got previously the investment 1.4 million euros, and this investment will go mainly for the expansion and the product development. So guys, my name is Pavlina and we are MyStay, the contactless solution for post-COVID times. Thank you very much. And very important shout out. Let me introduce you 3 amazing founders which I'm lucky to be their friend also. First one is Lucia, who is the ex-managing director of a very famous Kiwi.com, the aggregator for the flight tickets. She already cashed out from this project, and currently she's helping to develop Pocket Virtuality and other projects. Linda, with her very famous snacks, I really recommend you guys to try. They do a very comfortable and revolutionary panties for ladies period. Very nice. And Hannah, with her Frusak, which are the sustainable bags replacing the plastic ones. So big shout out to these three amazing ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pavlina. Great job. So what are some other possible applications for this technology? Do you see it outside of anywhere other than the hospitality industry?
Well, within the hospitality industry, there are definitely apps that would help also to do some stuff at the receptions, like a kiosk that would also do the part of the concierge service and so on. Let's say that we're also covering this part and really trying to be there and strong as much as possible for hotels.
Amazing. And you're doing fantastically. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a slight change of direction now. As you all know, today we're celebrating Women's Entrepreneurship Day, a global movement started by, of course, one kick-ass woman, Wendy Diamond. And that's why we're super excited that she's created a message or shared a message, a greeting to all of you here on this special day. From there, we'll be going straight into a panel discussion, Seen, Funded, Scaled, Why Women-Led Businesses Should Be on Every Investor's Radar, hosted by Amy from Sifted with 3 very special guests. I'll be right back after the panel for the final 5 pitches.
Hi, I'm Wendy Diamond, founder of Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization. We do. Congratulations to the cohort of the Google for Startups Immersion Women Founders for completing this amazing program. With the economic turmoil due to COVID-19, women and minorities have been the hardest hit economically. Investing in women has never been more critical and important. You have defied all odds in light of this pandemic. Women are an undeniable, incredible force, and by uplifting and empowering women, we uplift communities and economies around the world. Women's Entrepreneurship Day is every day. Support, empower, and celebrate women in business. Woohoo! Have the best time.
Hello, I'm Amy, Deputy Editor of Sifted, and I'm here with a wonderful panel, a short but sweet, it's going to be a short but sweet panel, but an excellent panel to talk about female founders getting funding, and any kind of tips, tricks and advice for you lot out there who are going about this yourselves. So I'll quickly introduce my panel. We've got Judith Dada, who's partner at La Familia VC, which is a VC firm based in Germany. We've got Carrie Hendricks, who's the founder of Jabatical, and we have Marta Krupinska, who you've all heard of, who's head of Google for Startups in the UK, but also co-founded Earned and Azimo. So they've all got a slightly different but very useful perspective on what it's like to go out there and raise funding. So I wanted to just kind of get stuck right in there with some practical, useful things, which is that, you know, we have all heard the very, very depressing statistics about what percentage of venture capital goes to women. Like, we know it's hard. You know, there must be biases out there. There must be things that are, you know, make it harder for women to raise money. What kind of, Judith, maybe start with you. Are women treated differently by VCs? Kind of whether we like it or not, how might female founders find themselves in a slightly different position from a male founder?
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, there's lots of studies that have looked into this, you know, particularly with regard to the questions that females are asked that men aren't asked. You know, for women, VCs tend to focus more on the challenges. For men, they tend to focus more on the opportunities. And so I think, it's all about how women can phrase opportunities and how they can basically kind of play questions back. I think another bias that I myself have experienced during fundraising, and also know that female founders have experienced, is the question of where are your kids? Like if a woman has kids, like people tend to ask like, where are your kids? And we always used to joke and say they're dead at the bottom of a lake. I mean, where would the kids be? They're safe and like well at home with the partner or in kindergarten or wherever they are. And so I think in these situations, just remaining calm, being very charming, just playing the question back and asking, may I ask all the men in the room how your kids are? And just kind of doing the best thing you can in that situation, and at the same time kind of being aware of men probably perceiving what you're saying more from a risk rather than an opportunity perspective, and then using wording accordingly to make sure you're not falling into that trap.
Carrie, how have you dealt with that? Because I imagine, on the one hand, you kind of want to defend yourself and like point out, excuse me, you're being really biased here, but I'm guessing that doesn't always necessarily get you the term sheet you might want.
Yeah, to be honest, what I would actually suggest is, first of all, I do agree, and there are biases, and I have seen the biases, and we see those biases. But I think the best way to kind of overcome them is to yourself forget about them, because basically keep just your focus about being the founder who is building your vision. I always like to say that building a vision is like rock climbing. You just keep on climbing, don't look down, otherwise you get dizzy. And I think you get dizzy also, or you could get dizzy if you start to think too much about the fact that I'm a female founder. Just forget about it. Do your best, be resilient, because like this is the key because you will fall. And honestly, I think any founder can relate to that. You can't even imagine how many things can go wrong. And every time you have to, stand up and continue. I would say that one of the advices that I would give based on my experience is try not to think about it. But if you are treated badly, I think there are some situations where I wish I would have just stood up and left. I didn't. I would recommend you to do that. And I think that would kind of also teach something when you are treated with a very strong bias. I wish I would have done it. I didn't. But I also am thankful that I really didn't spend too much time thinking how I'm going to be or how I am treated differently. I was just focused on what I'm building, my team, and just changing, in that sense, making that change through the example, and as well as building my team, having the diversity inside my team.
And I mean, I'm thinking it would be kind of nice if female founders were like, I don't need your money anyway. You sound, you're a horrible biased investor, but I feel like that's not going to quite play out in reality. Marta, what's your kind of thoughts on that?
I do think we need to start naming and shaming. It is obviously very difficult, but this is also why it's so important that we're supporting more women founders to get in, because when it's no longer just 3 of us or 7. And I think it's also really important to see, we've got experiences even on this panel, Estonia, Germany, UK. Like when there is more of us, it becomes easier to tell these horror stories, because then it's harder to track it back to that single individual who was raising money from that investor. But I think I just like to sort of go back to what both ladies have mentioned on acknowledging that there is bias, but also not letting it eat you alive. On my last business, Free Up, when we were fundraising, we had 2 different, it was me and my male co-founder fundraising, and we had 2 different sets of investors asking us more or less indirectly whether we're sleeping with each other. As you can imagine, we were both supremely annoyed and insulted by that, but we never really talked about it. It was only this year that we had a conversation where I told him how annoyed I was that they would assume that I was clearly only there because I was sleeping with him because I'm a woman. And he was really annoyed because I was a 3rd-time founder and he was a 1st-time founder. So he thought they were insinuating that he's not good enough and he's only there because he's sleeping with me. I'm only telling this story because it also shows how much of it is sort of in our head. And if we let it get to us, it will get to us. But with preparation and an excellent business, I'm sure that there are ways, and women today on the showcase are showing, and all of us here that raised a ton of money, that it is possible.
Yeah, and when it comes to kind of preparing to pitch, as women, do you think there are any kind of areas that it is worth just spending that extra bit of time on, because people are going to assume that you don't know your numbers or something. I'm saying this because I've heard this from people before, from female investors as well, saying, oh, female founders just, you know, don't know this as much, or don't seem to be prepared in this way as much. You know, is there any way you can kind of prepare yourself for the high likelihood that things like that might come up? Judith,
so I think from my experience, having funded and having worked with a lot of female founders, I think actually they know their numbers a lot better than men. I think they're very, very diligent and do like all the pre-work, almost too much work ahead of the pitching, and like do less of the like pitch preparation, just do more of the pitching. And so I think there's always 2 recommendations that I give is like, for every hour that you spend working on your deck, like spend 3 hours getting warm introductions to VCs. And, very often the female networks and the male networks don't overlap as much. Like that's where the hard work needs to be done. So just spend time getting into those doors and getting warm introductions. That's the first thing. And the second thing that I tend to definitely see as a difference in between female and male founders, but also German and US founders, is, kind of the aggressiveness or like the boldness of the vision, right? So the other day I had a male founder, like, answer the question of like, why is now the right time to build this business and not 5 years ago? Answer with, I was not around 5 years ago to found this business, and so now is the right time to found this business. So that just shows the level of self-confidence that men have. And so I always, say to female founders, if you think you're overdoing it, it's probably just about right. And like, go into the pitch thinking you want to eat all the cake and the scones and the fork if need be. Like, just be super, super hungry in terms of what you want to claim for yourself. And I think that's just, more of the mindset that women sometimes need to put themselves in, and, just claiming the room that is theirs to take.
Marta, do you have anything to add?
I can very much second everything that Judith said. And there is another piece of study that showed that quite often women are judged on what they'd done prior, and men are more assessed on how they can develop in the future. So maybe that's also a nice thing to focus on when working with investors and talking about, I've noticed that you have invested in this company and that company. Those introductions or that time that you could invest in me could result in, everything that I've already been. And look at all these things that I can become with your support and your network. By the way, that's the other thing that I have used when fundraising, looking at the portfolio of the VC, seeing that there were women or people in a similar industry to mine, and saying, by the way, I'm really happy to see that you are an investor that invests in women, despite the fact that many have that blind spot, or that you're an investor that's particularly interested in my industry. Make them feel fantastic about themselves. Generally works.
Okay, amazing. And on the point about kind of actually finding investors and kind of getting these kind of female founder or female investor, female angel networks to kind of overlap, Karen, do you have any kind of tips on how to find investors, how to maybe find investors who are really actually looking for female founders and know they have an enormous gap in their portfolio and want to fill it?
I think I would focus here finding good investors, or actually the best is when the investor finds you, then that's when the magic happens, I think. And from those, so first of all, I think the few things that I've learned is that you really have to think through who your investor will be, because it's amazing to get that money, but you will be married to that investor for a long time. And if they are not going to help you, whatever may happen, you will be stuck in a wrong marriage, right? So basically, really think through how the energy is with the investors. And as Judith, you said that use the network and use the connections. Like, it's the best introductions are, it's not the pitch preparation, which is important, but it's really, really important to build your company as well. So like, focus on building your company, then practice your pitch, but be sure that use the investor network to help you instead of doing like cold outreach. And one thing I would actually add to what was said before is that I think the confidence is really important, and I think we definitely underestimate ourselves as girls very often. One tip that I once got, and I think this has helped me a lot, and it's a very simple one, and this can be helpful both in sales meetings as well as investor meetings, is that when you go to a meeting, you are building an amazing thing. You believe in that, you have an amazing team behind you. clean your energy and go and inspire instead of wanting to get something. And it completely changes the conversation. If you're going into that meeting knowing that you are giving out, you are there to show them the future that they have not yet seen, you are there to give, it's a completely different energy where you go there and you want their money. Just
amazing.
a thought.
I really love that point about kind of the best thing is when investors come and find you. Judith, how can female founders kind of, make them be out there enough, or be in the right places, or be speaking to the right people that mean that investors are actually the ones knocking on their doors, or setting up Zoom meetings in this day and age?
Yeah, I think actually Carolee made a perfect point, which is like that VC market is driven by FOMO. I mean, it's the one thing, that is hard to escape for every single VC. And so I actually think, women have a talent for orchestration, right? We have a talent for planning and for anticipating, one step after the next. And so I see a lot of, men when they fundraise, and also quite frankly, a lot of, the things that we do with our founders, when they go into the next raise, is we put together a story and we try to orchestrate the fundraise. It's not, kind of that one pitch and you send it to everyone and then it's like this magical, transparent process with like no bias and no FOMO or nothing. You try to create a story, you try to create a certain momentum, you try to create energy. I've seen founders who, during the demo of their product, they kind of had Slack and WhatsApp open, and I kept seeing other investors ping the founder, while I was speaking to the founder in the demo, and obviously that creates some element of FOMO on my side. So, I think just being aware of this market not being perfect, of all of us being human beings, this being a competition, and just doing a little bit of planning and back channeling, and finding helpful friends, male entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs in the market who can put in a good word at the right time, who can say amazing things about your product. Like if one of my founders comes to me, like I just had this the other day, and he told me about this company and has like, I love their product. Like, it's fantastic. It's so amazing. Like the next thing I did was like try to find this founder and try to get him on the call, to find out more about this product. So recommendations go a long way. So find people who can be helpful in that sort of way.
Amazing. We are unfortunately out of time, but I think we packed in at least 30 minutes worth of advice there with speedy talking and great tips at the ready. So thank you very much, Marta, Judith and Carolee. And I hope everyone listening has written down lots of useful notes.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you all for joining us. I loved it. How good was the panel, that you guys? Welcome back to the second half of the showcase. Keep your questions coming in. The founders are all still here with us online and they would love to chat. So coming up right now, the final 5 startups for tonight. Let's get cracking. First up, heading back to the UK, please welcome Zara Shah, co-founder and CCO of Sears. Their company is changing the world of data privacy compliance with digital solutions for companies of all sizes and everywhere around the world. Good luck, Zara.
Thanks, Erin. Hi, everyone. Sears is UK's leading privacy and consent management platform for companies worldwide. The problem we're trying to solve, at present, 70% of SMEs across UK and Europe are not compliant with data privacy regulations. 87% of websites are currently not cookie law compliant, and there's a shortage of data protection officers. Sears resolves the data privacy compliance problem for SMEs and larger organizations through digitizing data privacy. We have developed 10 digital solutions that cover assessments, certifications, policies and documentation, and consent management. We'll show you a real live example of one of our solutions. The one on the right is actually currently being used by the UK regulator, the Information Commissioner's Office. Market size 7.5 billion in Europe for data privacy, 20 million SMEs in Europe. Of those, 5.7 million are in the UK. Sears is looking to gain 1% of the target addressable market at a valuation of 100 million. Our business model is based on a software as a service with lots of different technology solutions available for companies to subscribe to based on the size of the company and their business requirements. Our prices start at £10 per month for annual customers. And we also have a Privacy Experts platform where we charge a separate platform fee. Our progress to date, Sears was launched in January 2018. We have 10 digital solutions live on our platform. A successful marketing strategy led to 10,000 unique website visitors. We have 9,000 business users on our platform. A cookie solution, which is leading the marketplace in places such as WordPress, Joomla, Magento, Shopify, and PrestaShop. Our direct competitor, OneTrust, was recently valued at 2.7 billion within 4 years of trading. CS is led by an experienced team and founder member of UK's first RegTech unicorn, Smart Pension. Team, as I mentioned, I'm the CEO, I'm the co-founder and Chief Commercial Officer at CS. I've got a background in management consultancy with over a decade of experience at Accenture, where I help large global investment banks comply with regulatory requirements through RegTech solutions. Adnan, who is our founder and CEO, was a founder member of UK's first RegTech unicorn, Smart Pension, and also helped companies scale up at PwC. Terry Kemp was the most successful sales director at Smart Pension. A competitor.
All right, we seem to have lost Zara there for a moment. Zara, can you hear us? Nope. She's gone. That's very unfortunate. Zara, can you still hear us? Okay, good. The joys of live TV, folks. Okay. It's exciting. Okay. Good. Let's move on. We're going to stay in London, but we're moving on to Sarah Henley, the co-founder and COO of Next Up Comedy, basically Netflix for live comedy. Here, how to show us that there is money to be made in supporting artists and filling a niche gap in the market. Sarah, over to you.
Thanks, Erin. Hello, I'm Sarah, co-founder and COO of Next Up Comedy. Before I get started, a quick bit of context about the market in which we're operating. The specialist subscription video market is worth 8 billion annually and is forecast to explode. And when I say specialist, I mean genre-specific services that super serve fans of those genres. In this market, we're currently witnessing a repetition of what happened in broadcasting in the 80s, where mainstream channels were flanked by specialist services that super served fans, such as the History Channel and MTV. The same thing is currently happening in the subscription video market, but at a much faster rate. As you can see, there's Shudder for horror, Hey You for reality, if you're a fan of the Kardashians, and I thought I'd point out Acorn, who specialise in British crime drama, extremely niche and sold for over 50 million to AMC in 2018. This trend represents a huge market opportunity, which Next Up are taking advantage of in the genre of live comedy. Next Up addresses problems on both sides of the equation. For comedy fans, if they're unable to make it to a performance in person, there's no digital catch-up service. Additionally, discovering new acts is difficult due to existing services favouring already famous acts. And the only way to support comics they love is by buying a ticket. The DVD market has all but disappeared. And for comedians, the shows they work on for years are lost. They can only reach live audiences, and their only revenue stream for their work is in live performance. Our solution is a subscription video on demand platform, like Netflix, but specializing in stand-up comedy specials, 90% of which are exclusive. As you can see, Next Up addresses all of those pain points for comedy fans and comedians, and both of those communities are huge brand ambassadors for us as a result. We serve comedy fans better than any other platform by showcasing more styles such as sketch, character, and musical comedy, with a huge emphasis on rising stars rather than just famous names. Comedians are hugely protective of their work. The Next Up team have worked in comedy for over 10 years and formed trusted working relationships with them. Unlike other services, we support the comedy industry through various initiatives, including our revenue share scheme and rehearsal space, which customer research tells us our members really value. After 3 years of lean development, we're now ready for significant growth in 2021, having cemented our position in the UK comedy industry. We've got scalable metrics with lifetime value at double our customer acquisition cost. Our MMR has doubled from this time last year. We've done licensing deals with Audible, Amazon, and BritBox, and we have huge distribution and promotional opportunities with big brands coming up next year, including McDonald's and Apple Channels. Our team have over 50 collective years in stand-up comedy, have worked together for over a decade, and with unparalleled connections are uniquely placed to execute. We've also got the former president of MGM and AMC Networks and the former head of comedy at BBC Worldwide amongst our investor advisors. We're currently raising investment to help drive towards break even, and we have about 30% remaining of our current round. We've got huge plans to digitize the UK comedy landscape next year, so please do get in touch if you're interested. We would love to chat further. And for my shout out, I would like to highlight 3 amazing and inspiring women. Firstly, Claire Ransom, the founder of Lazy Flora, who are similar to HelloFresh but for plants. Sophie Hooper, who's the founder of Secret Saviours, secretly saving women from stretch marks with patented femtech. And finally, Linda Wade, the founder of SpinView, who use virtual reality to map built environments and solve business problems. That's all from me. Let me know if you've got any questions, or feel free to get in touch after the event as well.
Thank you, Sarah. Really great job. Thank you for jumping in there. Sounds like you've got big plans ahead of you. We're really excited to see that. Tell us what your next big markets might be. Which countries are out there desperately waiting for more comedy?
Well, I think in terms of countries, we are looking to expand globally, but we've got quite a big play in the UK next year first. We're looking to, as I said, digitize UK comedy clubs. So we're moving into the live streaming market, and we hope to be streaming almost all of the comedy clubs in the UK by the end of next year directly into the platform. After that, we will move globally, and I think we'll be looking at the US, Australia, and Canada, who have great stand-up comedy markets, but also English speaking for now.
Amazing. Really excited to watch. Thank you so much, Sarah. So, heading over to Hungary now, I'm excited to welcome Kinga, founder and CEO of Publish Drive. For all of you with a story to tell, Publish Drive is the digital future of publishing. The stage is yours, Kinga.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kinga, CEO and co-founder of Publish Drive. And we transform the traditional book publishing market go digital with ebook, print on demand, and audiobook publishing. Let me tell you more about the book market. It's $150 billion worth, and more than 60% of the sales come outside of the Amazon world. The growth comes from independent publishers and digital. When I first wanted to publish my master's thesis, I realized how painful publishing is, with a lot of long processes and costly ones. And then with a very tiny reach, you can easily spend up to 90 hours per book per month with unnecessary administrative work, such as formatting, distribution, promotion, and tracking. That's why we created Publish Drive, the all-in-one digital book publishing platform to instantly save up to 70 hours per book per month and increase royalties earned by authors by 82% by reaching more than 700 million more potential readers. We sell books to over 400 stores, including Amazon, Apple, Google, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, but to 200,000 digital libraries as well, such as schools and universities in over 100 countries, reaching over 1 billion potential readers. We are the only company that has all 3 book formats under one roof, and we are one of the very few companies who are trusted by Apple. More than 16,000 publishers joined our platform so far, who publish more than 100,000 amazing books, as you can see. Most of them are coming from the US and the UK, but we are proud that we publish books in over 65 languages so far. Our competitive advantages enable us to scale with our AI robot for indexing books, having all 3 book formats under one roof, top-notch analytics, and also a transparent royalty management system. We grew 60% in the last 4 years yearly, but our plan is to grow 10x in the next 5, both in our number of users and our revenue. Our team has 17 people, and our management team has over 70 years of cumulative experience by working at Big 4 companies, but also at Adobe, to sell digital products at scale. We raised over $1.4 million so far in 2 rounds, and we got into amazing startup programs like Google for Startups And our team has been awarded by leading organizations such as Forbes 30 Under 30 as well. And now, as COVID-19 has not been affected by our business, we are looking for partners who can join us in our growth. Join our Series A round starting in 2021 as an investor or an advisor, so we can grow together during the pandemic. Again, I'm Kinga, CEO and co-founder of Publish Drive, the digital book publishing platform for authors and publishers. If you have a book in you, feel free to reach out to me, or if you want to join our growth. And now I'd like to give a shout out to 3 amazing women founders. One of them is Judith Anderley. She owns LMBPN, which is the most innovative independent book publisher in the US. Ricky Bowman, who runs Written Word Media, empowering authors through book promotion sites. And Lucia Eshhedi, who created Luan by Lucia and other brands, designing beautiful clothes for powerful women and their souls. So thank you guys, and I'm waiting for your questions.
Thanks so much, Kinga. Great job. Excuse me. So tell us where you see the biggest opportunities in publishing. Is it really all about ebooks from now on?
That's why we actually have all 3 book formats. So what we can see that audiobook is really going up high right now. And I personally listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. But we also could see a lot of opportunities in print on demand, because we all know that during COVID-19, a lot of bookstores, physical bookstores, had to close down, unfortunately. But still, there is still an opportunity to order books with this new technology, which is print on demand. And we are really happy that we can actually provide it to our authors.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. So, continuing our tour of Europe from right here in your living room, we're heading back to Germany now, Dresden to be exact. Maria is the co-founder and COO of Skin, using the very best of AI to bring you the very best skincare products, all via their retail app. Take it away, Maria.
Yeah, thank you, Erin. And hello to everyone. I'm very proud to introduce you now to Skin, the revolution for the beauty commerce market. So the skin is our biggest human organ, and especially women put on cosmetic products every single day of their lives. But more than 90% of these products do not fit their type of skin. But our skin is as unique as we all are. So let me introduce my friend Carla. Carla is very upset. She spends a lot of money to makeup products because she don't feel very comfortable. So I recommended her to use the Skin app. And after using the skin scan, she found out there's no problem. She just have dry and sensitive skin. But 80% of her products are useless. Now she feels much better, and we have even been out for a date last night. So this is not a specific topic. We found out that more than 70% of our community members didn't know about their type of skin before, and that more than 90% of their products, and we are talking about a lot of products, are non-personalized. So here comes Skin. We want to make personalized cosmetics available for everyone. And therefore, we built an AI beauty advisor that matches the right beauty product based on the ingredients behind to your analyzed skin. And this is how it works. So we see that augmented reality and artificial intelligence as the main technology trends are the perfect match to the challenges of the market: emotional sales and personalized cosmetics. And on this base, we created an outstanding recommendation engine with our personification, Quinn. And why Quinn? Because user engagement is all about personification. So our model is proven now by more than 100,000 users. And what we see is that more than 70% of our purchases are coming from the category recommended products. And also more than 60% of our users are recurring paying buyers. And therefore now we want to start our growing process. So, of course, this is not a one-woman show. We have a strong team and even a very strong founders team. We are very different. We have very different experiences, but I think we are a very interesting match. And also, we take care about networking a lot. So we have been in different accelerator programs this year. And don't forget, we just started at the beginning, in January 2020. So currently, we are in our seed fundraising round, where we search for 2.5 million euros. We already have commitments for around 500,000 euros. And therefore, if you want to join our journey, feel free to contact me. So, of course, this day is a very special day, and I'm very proud to introduce you now to three very awesome people, Barbara and Laura, which are 150% behind their brands, and you can feel that in every step they are doing. And Romina is maybe the personification of the spirit of this day today, because with Femit, she founded a magazine which exactly supports female empowerment and female leaderships, and I strongly believe that her Femit conference last year was just the beginning of an awesome journey, and I'm super proud that all of them have been or are part of our Skin family. So that's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Maria. So you said you've just started actively fundraising. In case the right person is out there watching right now, tell us exactly what you're really looking for from an investor, aside from just money.
Yeah, we are searching for more like an advisor, somebody who believes in our vision and also in our team. Because as I mentioned before, the three of us, we have really different backgrounds, but I believe that each of us has a strong experience of one of our like basics. So we have three basics in our app. It's community, it's transformation, and it's B2B marketplace. And we are fitting these three things exactly. So I'm searching for somebody who really believes in us as a team.
You're an incredible team, and I can't wait to see where this all goes. Thank you, Maria. Our very last pitch of the evening, an Israeli startup coming to us live today from New York. Please welcome Yael, co-founder and CMO of Tulu, a 24/7, hi Yael, 24/7 smart rental room, changing the way we will all consume and use things around our homes and apartments. Yael, last but certainly not least, the stage is yours.
Erin, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. So good to be here. My name is Yael. I'm the co-founder of Tulu. Tulu is an in-building smart platform that enables tenants from apartment buildings with on-demand access to products for rent and purchase. So imagine a world in which you need stuff, but you don't necessarily want to own them. You need to clean, you now have access to the best vacuum. You need to go to the supermarket, you grab a scooter. You're hosting a party, you have access to chairs, projector, or folding table. Well, this is really easy to imagine, but this is a bit hard to execute. And this is what we're imagining being the future way of consumption habits. And this is what Tulu is doing. We figured out how to make hundreds of people in New York and Tel Aviv change their consuming habits. Tulu enables people to rent what they want and what they need on demand within their own building. We work in 14 buildings in New York and Tel Aviv, offices, student housing, and residential housing, with some of the biggest buildings in New York and with the biggest landlords in the US. But why now? There are three powerful trends that are currently happening. The first one is that the end users, the millennials, they want convenience in their daily lives. The second one is that the landlords want to attract these millennials as they are now the biggest housing consumers market, and they're doing it so by providing amenities. And the third is that brands understand that beyond their e-commerce presence, they still need space to host their products and create physical exposure. And this intersection of these three trends is what allows Tulu's platform to sit. We actually help landlords get this exposure, and we help landlords give the coolest amenity they can give to their tenants. We provide brands with physical exposure, and our members are actually using our products whenever they want. So up next, we're doing it by providing Tulu. Tulu is a customized unit that hosts the products. It's a modular unit that we can actually change the inventory on demand. We also have the Tulu app. The Tulu app is a 24/7 app where people can rent, manage their booking, and do whatever they want. And we have the Tulu Brain, which is our dashboard, where we generate data, usage, and optimization. The most exciting part about Tulu is that it's actually working. Tenants are crazy about us. They post about us on Instagram. They bring their friends and family to a tour. Landlords are loving us. They bring us as an amenity, and brands are using our platform for exposure. So right now, we've implemented Tulu on our own in a B2C model where we got the space for free. Right now, we're doing a B2B model where we're selling Tulu as an amenity to landlords. And in the future, we envision Tulu as being the standard for urban living and a necessity where people live. So just a bit about me and my team. My co-founder, Ishai Lehavi, is an architect by profession. He comes from a strong technological background. And myself, my name is Yael. I come from environmental entrepreneurship background, and previous to Tulu, I had a startup in urban farming. We met 2 years ago in DesignX MIT, and ever since then, we're leading Tulu with an incredibly highly skilled group of people from Israel and New York, engineers, designers, and marketers. And now, to make our vision really big, we are raising $3 million in funding. We want to be in every household in the United States and later on in later areas in the world. And we're really excited about bringing more visionary people to our journey. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out. And just before I'm done, I really want to give a quick shout out to 3 amazing social entrepreneurs. I will speak about Tamar Shemesh. Tamar is a social entrepreneur. She uses photo voice and journalism to empower underserved communities through photography. And I highly recommend checking out her work. And thank you all so much for your time. I'm here to take any questions.
Thanks, Yael. Great job. I'll give you one final question. It's an easy one. A little voyeur moment for all of us. Tell us about the most popular item from your rental rooms.
Well, the Dyson vacuum cleaners are actually our best sellers, and the scooters. People love this convenience and they clean their house a lot. Lately, also people been using more folding chairs. They're back to hosting.
Interesting. I love it. Okay, you're done. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. So we made it. You made it. Cue the confetti. Thank you to all of the founders who have shared their businesses with us this afternoon. This event is the end of some really intense weeks of work together, and I'm so proud of all of you for the work that's been done. It's been an absolute thrill to have the chance to have worked with each and every one of you. Thank you to all the speakers and the amazing audience for all the engagement and inspiring questions. We couldn't have done this without all of you, so thank you for joining. There's a lot happening in the Google for Startups community at this time of year, so next week, please do join us for the Google for Startups Immersion Black Founders Showcase, where you'll see another game-changing group of founders from across Europe, as well as brand new research on the state of the ecosystem for Black founders. So don't miss that. But right now, we're done here. The show is over. Head on over to Twitter right now to keep this conversation going. There's a bunch of incredible founders and ecosystem folks from around the world kicking a big chat on over there. So head on over. From me, bye-bye.